muganda we abali bikola yaba ali luyiwa kusaawa edo 8 to 9 tuida kuba naye wano tuli kumusuubira okubanga tuida kupaganya ebirozo ku bantu abandi Kamala kale wetweyongerayo tubaye tuli kulinga ku biri kufa mu igwanga lyaife Adam abaire akerere kukwogera ku the handling of weapons. I believe there is a law in our country that talks about how these weapons are supposed to be handled. Is it called the Firearms Act or something? And in that law, I expect that the process of acquiring a gun, a pistol, or a firearm, whatever the name, is well laid out. I do not know why, with our changing lifestyle, we are becoming too insecure among ourselves that everybody feels safe with a gun. Everybody wants to have guns. Artists have guns. Abayimbi, they have their pistols. MPs have pistols. Ministers have pistols. The rich guys in town have pistols. It's the only way people feel safe. Although, if one chose to lay trap to kill you, even without a pistol or a gun, they will kill you. Because for us in Islam, we believe that your death is a predetermined factor by God the Almighty. He knows when you'll die. If it's not your day, you'll survive like Waiswa survived. How would this man survive Waswa? Seated together in the same car with all access, and somebody is shooting at close range. He fires more than 5 bullets, and all access dies instantly. But Waswa, his driver, survives without even a scratch. Not even a tondoli omusayo kuva kugwa tudde nayo motonyako. Because his day was not that day. Even in the midst of fire, he survived. So, the handling of guns is a major debate, and nobody can do it because when you tell Parliament to debate it, it cannot pass. Because Parliament itself is now leading. Everybody in Parliament wants to have a gun. Maybe, I don't know, with female MPs, I don't know. But the male MPs?
You know, talking guns, I spent the whole of yesterday after the show here moving around Kampala and different parts of the city. And even if you, I don't know this morning, but you see a lot of presence. Maje, ga Uganda. Ne wano Muntinda, when you move just near traffic lights there, you'll see abasirikale, aba Maje. They are not doing anything wrong. They are just stationed ku spots ezenjawulo with their guns. Bakola byabwe. We have not had, I think, an official communication from security about this presence, but be it...
Why must you have official communication?
Because
why?
Our people, you see, Sir Simon...
If they tell you everything they do, then how secure are they? Because when they tell you, Adam, who we believe is righteous, even the criminals will hear the same information and plan better. I do not believe that they must tell you everything they do.
No, they should. Why? Because government here in Museveni, the way they designed how they are administering this country, nti abasirikale tetwabamanyira nnyo kubeera mu bantu ennaku zino oba ku bukulembeze bwa President Museveni. President ne government eno bayinenge gye bakikola nti abasirikale presence yaabwe nnyo mu bantu tekirina kubeera, you know, that you know, common.
You're talking about a different country, Adam.
Come again?
You're talking about a different country.
No.
The country I know in East Africa that hides its soldiers. A country where you'd live for a month and you don't see a soldier other than looking at traffic police and maybe a few police officers. A country where you can walk a whole street in the sun, you don't see anybody brandishing a gun, is Kenya. But here in Uganda,
so you find it normal.
What I think is, again, here, government has made us used to interact with. I've sat, man, not even when you go to a restaurant, you will see somebody either dressed in the army fatigue or with a gun. These are things are everywhere. But what you'd say is,
no, but
we are used to living with them normally.
No.
They are with us everywhere, but they are not.
Because you're not allowing it to make my point. That's the challenge. Yeah, but I was telling you, Sir Simon, that abasirikale ideally abamaje tubasuubira kubeera mu barracks. That's the design that Mr. Museveni and his administration, initially it was like that. But now, from nowhere, when you see security personnel, for example, where we always have breakfast with you, to be honest, natusewo jjo and I found 3-4 soldiers batudde wabweru n'emmundu 1, 2, 3, 4 bazitadde awo wabweru. I think even when you go there now, you'll find them batudde. So I enter the restaurant, I looked around. There was some young lady, temubuuza bano bakuuma gwe because that's what we see on a daily. Nga bwoga nti buli omu afiiringa insecure, kati buli omu n'akulira ka department bwe kati alina abasirikale. Beba abasirikale boolaba abangi all over the place with guns. But seeing soldiers seated just outside a restaurant, wansi ku ttaka ku bibulooka ebiri awo. Just look at that. Ku bibulooka ebiri awo. Batudde, oli apaakinze wali emmundu, oli apaak. To me, I don't find that normal. Why? I know some women, Sir Simon Miyangalutaya. I know some women I have seen with my eyes. Ng'alaba bulabi ku mundu n'ayagala n'okweyo n'onera mu ngoye.
Now we must demystify that fear.
So Obuzat, why should they tell us? The essence of telling the public or alerting them about these changes, which could be done for good security reasons. But you prepare the mind. Nti banne mama emyaka 65 olaba abantu bantu batya, they are with us for good reasons. So you do your own thing, but when the public knows that these people are actually here for good reasons. Emundu zesirabanga nakunga abasajja bazipanze bwe bati. That to me wasn't normal, Sir Simon. And I think it wasn't normal to so many other people.
Adam, I want I'll insist, while you believe I've not understood your point, I have understood it, but I want to say that in Uganda, it is very normal for us to live with these soldiers. These soldiers are our brothers, we joke with them, we stay with them. The era of keeping soldiers in the barracks ended, because you know for sure, Adam, that not all soldiers in Uganda sleep in their barracks. Many of them are our neighbors. Mpangisa actually, me where I am staying, sorry to reveal, my most immediate neighbor is a soldier. You understand? Ne mukyala waawo n'abaana be. Abaana be bazanya n'abaana bange. But they know for sure nti munnamagye akola byakola n'atambula n'akomawo. These soldiers are built houses. You know the difference is abasirikale ba Museveni baawukanako n'abasirikale b'Obote n'Abaamini. Abasirikale b'Obote n'Abaamini were oriented to be poor and not own property. They don't have property. They are supposed to be poor, keep in the barracks, and then survive on the mercy of state handouts all the time. Abasirikale ba Museveni are rich people. Baguza amataka obawulira nga bagobayo abantu. Bazimbye zi plaza, bayina za kent, bayina zi hotel, bayina zi saloon, basula naffe, bayina abakazi bana batano, apangisa na wali. So they are tusiiba nabo. That's the beauty. Tusiiba nabo. The issue would be in interacting with them, no kusiiba nabo mu society. Have they been dangerous to us? The answer is still yes or no. Because we have not gotten any report linking soldiers to gun crime, to this gun violence. We have no report.
So for the...
It could be not
so for the LDU, which used to hit our
somehow,
people.
yes, we got that. So for soldiers, the Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, we have no report linking them directly to gun violence that we have seen. All we have is their own shootings in the barracks when they shoot each other, and where we have also had
and
some
even those that have attempted, very few of them have still been
domestic violence,
yes.
where they come and shoot because they believe somebody has cheated on their wives. That I believe their wives have cheated on them. They're isolated cases. But in quantity, you cannot quantify and say the gun violence we witness now is the result of those soldiers.
No, and I don't think
I'm trying to explain. It's not what you say, but I'm saying because we have not had that, therefore we have had no basis to expect them to keep within the confines of the barracks. So they are wabako. I have many soldiers. Bali muno kumasimu tubera na WhatsApp. Mikwano jange mukoli otya kutumide. They have them, many of them here.
But you see, Sir Simon, again, that also communicates something very, very worrying. To me, I think it communicates about a worrying state of security we have in the country. We don't see these soldiers coming to streets under normal circumstances. There must be a problem.
That's the security method of Mr. Museveni. That the only way he secures that by these soldiers interacting with us as if they were civilians all the time, they gather a lot of intelligence information, and perhaps it's what helps them to keep us secure, and to the extent we say, tutenduka kuendoro.
No.
It could be a method.
No, right now, like we said, forget the normal interactions we have on a daily with, soldiers here and there. But as we speak now, there is a semblance of an increased presence of UPDF officers, or at least security personnel in UPDF camouflage.
Which is justifiable.
Which is?
Justifiable.
Where is the justification?
Having had the murder and killing of Ismail Laxas the other
You
day,
are assuming now.
having had another soldier killing a minister, and having arrested activists assembling explosives in Nabweru, would you not?
Now, we are not working on assumptions. That's why I said, in my view anyway, as a layman, I expected our security personnel, but they have a lot of respect for the Uganda People's Defense Forces, which reasons I've given even here before. But I thought it would have been prudent for them to prepare the mind of some of our people that are worried and scared of mere looking at the guns, especially at a time like this, when there is fear. No one has been convicted. Let me just tell you, Sir Simon, yesterday, when I saw that clip, and I wish our producer would play it again, omutima gwange gwatidde nga tegutya lwakuba nti mbadde sirabanga bantu bano nga batambula bwe batyo n'emmundu zino oba mbadde siraba ku mundu ku makubo naye olw'embeera y'obunkenke eteereddwawo ng'abantu battibwa naye nga tewali asingisibwa musango nti yeyatta gundi ne gundi. Just look at that. Abasajja baabo ba security company, just leave it at that. I don't know which security company is that. I don't know whether actually they are real security people. I don't know whether berimbise mu byambalo ebifanagana ng'ebya security companies zino, naye nga bali mu bantu n'emmundu nga bw'oziraba awo bazikutte bwe bati bagenda baziwuuba nga bw'olaba.
Part of it that if anybody opened fire on them here, the guns will be useless. They actually, before even you talk about the civilians, they themselves are in a very vulnerable state that if anybody opened on fire on them from any direction at that position, by the time they gather round to respond, they will be finished. and so the bad guy would take the guns away. They're just in a very vulnerable state. Papa, papa, finished. They will just fall off, and the bad guy will fall off, the guns will fall off, and that will be it.
But as a second, Sir Simon, but because security guards, even all security companies, ziri regulated by the Uganda police. Police is vunanyizibwako. And I'm wondering, does the state find it normal? Otugambye wano nti bino kyetuli mu kulaga abantu si kipya. Otugambye nabo bennyini aba police baba bwe batyo ku makubo.
Ekyo nkiraba. I speak without fear or favor. You know, and I want you to handle these cases differently. When you talk about soldiers, let them be soldiers. Then when you are talking about police officers, we're now talking about police officers. Then we talk about private security personnel. So actually, the culture of using borders with guns is too common with the private security guards. Because private security companies have guns, they have these soldiers, they have these personnel who they are poorly paying. You understand? They do not have enough facility to drive and drop them. We used to have a private company called Saracen. It was an old company called Saracen. The quality and the standard of conduct of the Saracen personnel was very, very unique. I do not know how they have degenerated, but those of my age who remember the group called Saracen, there was a group called Saracen while I was in Jinja. Very disciplined. Border. There were vehicles that would drop them to their workplaces, but also drop them to the places they were guarding.
Their stations.
And then they would even drop the food in the same way, find food at their places, and then pick them. When they pick one, they drop another. When they drop another. That's the standard.
That is the standard, now, and that is what is expected.
How they moved from the Saracen standard, I don't. Was Saracen a government thing also? I don't know.
I really don't know, but I doubt.
You understand? But the standards they had set, I remember very well.
So,
and the public had also gotten used. Ogamba Saracen. Saracen had become a household name in the private security, but one with a good record. And I do not remember any cases where the Saracen guards were caught in crime, either hiring guns or using their guns to go and rob. Now, when from Saracen they started licensing others, there was another one called what?
We may leave out the names.
Others. Yeah, because sometimes I love to be practical and evidenced. From Saracen, I remember there was another company there, Securicol. Called Securicol, something called Securicol, just Securicol. Those also were well behaved. Now, from the time we moved from those, and then we made them very, because you know, Ugandans must understand. Ekizibu ky'Abannayuganda kiri mu Bannayuganda nti obwongo bwaffe buli muntu yeetikka omutwe naye nga shape y'omutwe yeemu naye ebiri munda nga byawukana.
And I want to...
watermelon,
well, I disagree with you. Sir Simon, nzijukira at some point oba tewayita nikokola program eno nenkubulira ku musajja omu yawandiika n'agamba nti naturally man is an animal. Naturally. Is only tamed by law.
By law, no. Again, the argument of Plato is morality. Tamed by morality.
Now, this is another person. Said, tamed by law and maybe regulations. Why are we able to see this and condemn it? Nga bekikwatako abalina okuregulatinga n'okusupervisinga ebitongole bino bafuuse kyesirikidde. Because honestly speaking, if you talk to these people in police and security, they will tell you this is not proper. But why are you quiet about it? What are you doing about it?
It's also not proper to talk about it.
No, it can't be, because we expect them to regulate and guide these companies. They shouldn't work in isolation.
I want to use your statement. It is not proper to regulate.
It's not proper to regulate.
Continue.
It's not proper to regulate the operations of security companies in the country?
It is not proper to regulate in the Ugandan context.
I don't know.
You understand?
But
I was trying to tell you that two things should stand out in your mind. One, that you need to know, I normally teach people, you need to know where you are. It's very important always to know who you are and where you are. Many times we forget. We are Ugandans in Uganda. Our country liberalized businesses. So private security companies are a result of a liberal economy that one feels for them the business they can do is private security and they need guns for it. That should be in your mind. Number two, it would be ordinarily the right that soldiers keep within the barracks. That if you see them on the streets, you know there is danger. It would be a very good norm to teach Ugandans. It happens in Kenya. When you do all this and they say, the Fanya Fujo One group is now coming. Because in Kenya, the regiment is like this. You first deal with the ordinary police. If the situation fails, you see what we call the red top military police. And in Kenya, when you see military police, ordinarily many Kenyans will know that there is trouble. Now, if military police fails, now you see the army in full swing. But that will be full blast war or onslaught on the enemy. In Uganda, because you call these people, you know, the power, the answer is in the name. Uganda People's Defense Forces. Amajega Bantu ba Uganda. People's. This is Uganda people. Bantu bafe majega fe. So chiba chaffe amajega linge simu yange. This is Muyanga's phone. The army is my army. The soldiers are my soldiers. Because you have said the Uganda People's. Now you cannot call it a Ejeria Bantu and you want to keep it away from Bantu. You have to allow it to be with Bantu. But now, regulate.
What is their training?
While they are with Bantu and they are our Bantu.
What is the training of the UPDF? What are they trained to do?
The UPDF? Now the UPDF, this is a modern army with a very broad curriculum. You cannot ask me for one thing that they are trained to do. It's a broad curriculum.
Okay.
What they do.
Are they trained to deal with civilians as well?
Oh yes, they are.
To deal with them on what basis?
The doctrine of all the training of the army summed up is in two statements. Protecting the boundaries of Uganda and protecting the people of Uganda. The doctrine is summed up. You understand? According to, I've not done any military training, but from the laws I have read, the laws talking about the soldiers, and from what I've learned, is that the core duty, the cardinal duty of the armed forces is to protect the territorial integrity of the country and the people of Uganda. Whatever they study follows under those two. Or whatever they study is intended to achieve the two. That is different from the police, whose quality is protect, is to keep law and order. Keep law and order. Keep law and order. I've said the other one is protect the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of the country, and protect the people of Uganda. First, secure the boundaries, that no foreign attack affects Ugandans. And number two, protect the people within Uganda. You understand?
By the way, as we continue with this discussion, I'm very sure you know that I have no problem with my friends in the UPDF. By the way, I appreciate the Uganda People's Defense Forces for the so many things they do, and I believe negwanga lyafe I mean, in one way or the other because of the UPDF. But like I said, my only concern about the presence was the failure to prepare
our minds.
The minds of some people that fear Imagine omukyala atunda ebintu kumpi n'abasirikale olwo batadde mundu bali awo. You prepare and say they are there for doing their own thing. Ekyo kimu. And that's why.
Are there Ugandans who still fear soldiers?
Yes, very many of them.
Adam.
Nalaba omukadde omukyala. I saw 2 of them. Omu namulaba. To be honest with you, omutima gukuba gweguti nadduka ng'alabye emundu, egan. Abasirikale bagikutte bwe bati batamba kyekiriwo tulumbi kiki. So but it is very important to prepare them. You say bw'olaba abasirikale
and so you think when they prepare them and said don't fear them when they are around, that old woman would stop fearing them?
Perhaps it would make a difference. It may not completely take away the fear, but it could make a difference.
If you have called this the People's Defense Forces,
but we have Kenya
then
People's
we must make it as much as possible an arm of the people that the people themselves don't.
What makes it People's Forces? Let me even add something on that. UPDF bakugamba mu mateeka, they're supposed to be subordinate to civilian authority.
True.
That is the UPDF. Ebyo tubimanyi. Naye nekiri kyenkugamba nti bw'oteekateeka abantu mujja kukola bye bakola bano basajja we bali kutukuuma. To be honest with you, nze okusanga abasirikale aba mu kitongole ekimu n'ekyebyokwerinda ekiro nsanga aba UPDF.
In fact, nze bannamagye sibatya. Era bwe ndaba omunnamagye mbeera sekiwa nze omuntu abantu bentya ate bendoza nti bebateeka okukolebwa. To be honest, bali mu bitongole ebi.
Oyagala byogera?
Why not?
Obatya?
Abo bombatya.
Anti kati bwona boogera ojja kuba ogeneralize bonna mu kitongole kyonna.
Kasanga nti oyo wasiye maayi nfuna embiro solo okuddamuka oyo wasiye maayi.
Why do you fear?
Bagayiba iso baabo ababiri abo waliwo ne bebayita ba FFU something naye nga nsinga kutya abantu aba kasanga nti oyo wa iso ono wasiye maayi abo mbatya nnyo because I've been told nti abo bakola ddala omulimu gw'okulondoola buli kamu akanfaako era be balina fayiro ennene ezinkwatako era be bawandiika wensabye omulimu ne bassaako ka nooti nti wacha uyo ne kipingamizi. Abo bombatya. Naye ab'amagye nti ordinarily sikiwa nti waliwo ab'amagye abalina obuli to single out that in this country they single out a man called Muyanga, so they know me, they follow up what I do, they follow up where I go, they follow up my political orientation and the rest. The soldiers abo si nekataka nti owasiye
uyo
aboteka mu drone abo bemuta private bemuta city operative sabo not outright soldier but also city operative ya musajja kuteka mu motoka ng'osoosayo mutwe
ate omulemu tujja tutandikira tova